10,685 pounds, Wolfpack 295, Pack 13 here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Visit the link in the video description that says check for price and availability if you'd like to see if we have one of these in stock. You can also see how it's equipped because it could be different from what you see here. This is one that we've had, maybe not every single one that we'll ever have. And you'll see that we clearly publish pricing and we don't do hidden dealer fees at Haylett RV. We put it right on the table so you can make a fair, better, more educated decision. That's also the whole point behind making these videos out here in sub-zero weather, so that you guys have an idea of what you're looking at in one of these. So what is a Wolfpack? What are the benefits of the 295? That's what I want to hit on. The quick descriptor I'd give it is this is what I call the working man, the working woman's toy hauler. This is the one built for Larry Lunchbucket and Joe Sixpack. It's got everything you need, nothing you don't. It's not necessarily intended like, hey, we're not going to be living in this thing, man. We just want to go out and have fun on a weekend. That's who this is for. Now, I guarantee, anytime I make a statement like that, somebody on YouTube immediately goes, well, why can't I live in it? Well, you can. You know, people call all the time and say, well, what's full-time livable? Well, that's up to you. You know, that's whatever you feel is full-time livable, not what we feel is full-time livable. Our job is to educate you on what it brings to the table, though. Can't even talk. My tongue's freezing up. My eyeballs are icicles. Generator ready. When you add that feature, that's an option. It like the fiberglass skin, that is an option on this, and it's a high gloss gel coat. It's actually a very high level skin in the industry on what you often consider to be more of an entry level toy hauler, but you know, it gives it just an awesome looking gloss here. The white nose that fades back into the gray body, it makes it kind of look like it's moving when it's sitting still. And again, it's got everything it needs, nothing it doesn't. They don't make this thing extra heavy, extra expensive with a big drop frame up front. No, the storage is nice, but what you're going to find is horizontal storage, not vertical storage, is more important. You also have a nice little hookup station here. All your hookups are kind of in one place. It's not specifically insulated. This isn't made to be one of those big, heavily insulated fifth wheel toy haulers. That's why we have the Seismics and the impacts and the fusions and stuff here at Haylett RV. You know, that's also why they're significantly more expensive. There's a lot more that goes into it. Great shot of that glossy skin right there. Now, the generator readiness option goes hand in hand with the fuel station and fuel tank option. Those things are all kind of keyed together here. I'm tripping over snow chunks here. So you know what's kind of nice about this, what you can use that for is just keeping yourself on your site instead of having to, you know, like run to town all the time to top off tanks and things. The always on side mount ladder is something that at these dollars and cents you don't always find. It just makes getting on and off real quick and easy. I don't have the tailgate exactly, or the ramp patio system exactly locked into place. I just did a quick setup on this because as soon as I'm done with my video, I'm going to close it up so the snowflakes don't sneak in there. So if it's not like if the gates aren't exactly matching the deck profile, I cannot talk. Holy cow, this is not my best work. Moving on. You get the idea. So this has a 3,000 pound load rating, 1,500 pounds in the patio deck rating. Your garage floor is appropriately rated for, you know, 3,000 pounds because that's what the ramp can hold. 21-foot power awning on these with LED lights too. This has a long and strong power awning. So if you're down to get your camping on, well, then call me. Every time. I always want to bust into song every time on that. A couple of you get the reference anyway. Outside TV hookups under the awning between the two anti-slam entry doors. And if you choose to add a TV to something like this, you can float it inside, outside, and all kinds of different areas. And they all kind of key into the same central entertainment package effectively. Now, your main entry door benefits from the MORryde step above stable steps here, and those adjustable feet are getting their job done today. We had to extend those a little bit to make them work properly, but that's the cool part about these. They can pretty much work on just about any campsite. Now, I mentioned pass-through storage earlier. It's not the biggest I've ever seen a fifth wheel, but this is not the biggest fifth wheel I've ever seen. It's appropriately sized. And what's kind of nice is this is a 2-foot by 4-foot picnic table. Looks pretty small in here. You know, this is not a massive, this is not those giant drop frame like, you know, storage areas you see in a lot of fifth wheels, but it's obviously enough. And that's the thing, drop frame storage, it's a visual thing. I'm not saying there's no benefits to it because you might stack totes up, but typically horizontal storage is more appropriate than vertical storage. And I think that table in there was a really good example. Let's peek inside for you real quick, because there's a lot of good stuff going on in there too. So it's really worth mentioning that in the market in which they compete, which is the toy hauler market under $50,000, Wolfpack's actually the #1 seller. They're not the #1 seller overall in the market. I'm not trying to make garbage up. But they don't compete in the entire market. Where they do compete, they're #1 in popularity. And I think it's because they've identified a few things that separate them and you know, are a little different from the industry. Like, other than the fact that you can see the garage from here, the actual living area of this, it doesn't have that toy hauler, motocross, extreme sort of feel to it. It's just a fifth wheel. It's just a normal RV. And this is a fifth wheel, or the toy hauler member of the Cherokee RV family, which is actually Forest River's #1 selling series of travel trailers. And so, you know, they have the same equipment package and whatnot. This one, you just have a garage on the back of it. So they do a lot of the same things. And I think, you know, again, for their appropriate market segment, it really resonates with folks. Like, this has that big U-dinette right there. Normally, toy haulers have that, like, multi-seat party sofa, and you can option that into here, but you see that everywhere. You don't see just a normal dinette in a lot of things. You don't have a place to sit down and have a meal and play cards. Well, that's what you get here, because it's more of a fifth wheel than a toy hauler. It's like a fifth wheel with a multiple purpose garage flexible space on the back. Just like a Cherokee or a Grey Wolf, you've got 40-inch full extension dinette drawers on both sides of this for easy access. Now, all of your tabletops and countertops, they're thermal foil, so they're sealed edge and they have a pressed resin membrane. These giant windows, being a toy hauler, it's super tall, so we've got you know, extra large windows, and I use wooden style blinds on those, and I like that because they're rugged and you can actually clean them. And I see that accent light above the slide out there. During the daytime, it just kind of looks neat. It's just, oh, that's neato. But at night, it's a really cool accent light, and it really helps, you really see quite a bit in here. Now, they've got all sorts of lighting in the kitchen area. They actually call it the Cherokee Super Kitchen because they've added so many lights. You see that big stainless farm sink, more of that waterproof counters I mentioned. Now, notice you have both a recessed sink and stove, so that when you throw that sink cover back on top of the big stainless sink there, you've got a very good prep space in this little thing. That's a convection microwave down there, by the way, as well. 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. You can obviously see the loft up here. You can use that for sleeping, use it for storage. I often call it an attic as a result. Now, as we come back here, this does have a 13-foot garage. I probably should have mentioned that right away outside because that's such a big deal. And what's really important is it does not have one of those 3 seasons folding walls. Pardon a little bit of snow off my boots back there. We'll get that taken care of, don't worry. Remember, you don't pay extra to get something like cleaned and ready for you at Haylett RV. No fees and whatnot. Everything's ready when you take her home. But without the 3 seasons wall, it has a roll down wall in the back, you actually get more of the garage space. Those 3 seasons walls are great, but we did some measuring, and you can lose up to 9 inches off your 13-foot garage with that. Well, you're only capping yourself by 4.5 inches with the patio party deck system here. And it's like, if you don't have one of these on a toy hauler, you might as well not even try anymore. Even entry-level travel trailers have these at this point in the toy hauler segment. So this has, what, an effective 12-foot, 5.5-inch garage? Or no, 6.5 inch, whatever. There you go. You get the idea. So you've got more of the 13-foot garage available in this one. And that's the kind of detail stuff, guys, not every dealer is going to clue you in on. We don't mind sharing with you those potential, I should turn the lights on in here, those potentially scary things that not every dealer is going to do for you. We want you to make sure you get the right one, because, like, there's a guy in our showroom right now taking home his first ever RVs from Topeka, Kansas, and he came all the way over here for a 23-foot ultralight. He could have got that so much closer to home, it's not even funny. But we shot him straight, and his local dealer didn't. And that makes the difference. So that's why, even if it's a potential scary deal breaker item, I'm still going to talk about it, so that you know, if this trailer isn't the right one for you, you know that we will find you the right one here. If you need a bigger garage, we'll get you one, you know? dovetailed on the back here, and you've got D-ring tie downs just all over the place. This has like, what, 15 of them as I'm counting here. You got 15 little tie down areas. Now you saw the power up down sofa beds, that Happy Jack bed system. Again, that's such a gimme gimme me too feature. Everybody and their brother in toy haulers has that. I'm not going to spend a terrible amount of time talking about it, but long story short, you can bring those two things down. You can use them like twin sofas. They have a theater style armrest hidden in them. You can give yourself maximum load width by setting both of the benches in the horizontal position, or you can give yourself maximum load height by setting both the benches in the vertical travel position. You really have your choice there. Now, anywhere you sleep, anywhere you can possibly sleep in anything of the Cherokee family, you're going to find USB ports. And you've got USB plugs positioned here for the lower beds. You've got USB plugs positioned for the upper beds. You've got household outlets on both sides. You actually have household outlets front and back of both those benches. They are wiring crazy in here. There's even more lights I haven't turned on, by the way. You've got USB plugs there in the dinette slide. You've got some in the kitchen. You have some on both sides of the master bed. No matter how many devices you have, no matter how many people you bring, they're going to be able to charge their stuff. That's just not even a problem in here. And they're 12-volt powered. You don't have to have 110 shore power, by the way. Whew, dang, it's cold. Whew, man. So these don't tend to include a TV from the factory level, but so many people have TVs, and frankly, if the thing that you need to take an RV home from Haylett RV is, oh, I'm not taking it home unless there's a TV in it, you know what? There's a Walmart right across the street, and they got them on rollback. We'll take care of that. I mentioned the convection microwave. I just want to give you a quick flyby from the other direction moving through here. The big openness of this, you know, because it's not necessarily a long floor plan. I mean, this floor plan is done, it's been done to death. Everybody who builds a toy hauler builds a floor plan like this. But they've made some serious improvements, like adjusting the entertainment center like you see here, and that electric fireplace below. It's just really sharp stuff that this was previously known as the 295Pack13, and those little updates to things like that have really made such a big difference. Stepping upstairs here, let's peek at the bedroom. Now, being wide body, because this is full 102 wide body, not even 100 inch, but full 102 max width, you've got more room to walk around this queen bed than you could probably get in basically anything else. This is max walk around room. Full length hanging closets. Again, both types of plugs, USB and household on both sides. This bed is easy lift to get to the storage, below. And just to give you an idea of the size of the box of that there, pretty darn big. Now, as we come in here into the bathroom, you'll notice it's dual entry. You can do it from either side of the bed because you do have a direct entry door there. So if you're using this like an alternative bunkhouse, which is such a common thing, you're going to be fine here. Now, you do have the bigger Max Air vent fan as being a member of the Cherokee family of fifth wheels and trailers, and that will give you so much more airflow. It's just not even funny. Now, you've got a huge medicine cabinet up here. That's one of the things that being, again, a member of the Cherokee family, they do well. But then you have a second one over here, and it's actually a little bit bigger, and that's dedicated for linens. But I sat down on the toilet below this, and my head never bumped it. That was the first thing I thought. I said, man, I'm going to crack my head on this, because I bash my head on stuff all the time. It's just a skill that I have, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very good at hitting my head on things. And I was pleasantly surprised that they built this to accommodate goofballs like me, you know. The shower is full stand-up height in here because they actually recessed all the plumbing below the floor line, which is something that not every fifth wheel does. That's an extra attention to detail right there. And those things, those seemingly imperceptible things, are what will make you enjoy this over the long-term period of use and ownership. It's like a relationship, guys. If somebody squeezes the toothpaste from the wrong end of the tube, it's going to drive you crazy. If you don't have enough headroom in the shower, it's going to drive you crazy. But it's not something that everyone considers when they get into an RV. But thankfully, it is something that Wolfpack considers when they design an RV. Again, a lot of attention to detail here has made them the most successful thing in their competitive category. So, give us a call. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.